Hello, this is the first of the Train the Trainers videos, which I'm putting together to talk people through making apps using App Inventor so that they can deliver the sessions for the BCSWomen World Record attempt, which is coming up in June. The aim of this session is I'm going to take you through opening App Inventor, getting everything up and running, and getting your first app actually on a device. So I'm hoping this is going to be about 5 or 10 minutes of video. Very quick, just a kind of deep dive. Let's make something basic, get it on a device. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to build our first app. We're going to do this using App Inventor. And if you just Google App Inventor, it's there. And the one we're using is App Inventor 2, which is an updated version of App Inventor. When you first visit, it's going to ask you to sign in with your Google email. One of the key things, which is a bit of a gotcha, is that you've got to use the same Google account as the account that's on the tablet or the phone that you're going to try and link to the thing. So if you've got a family group coming along, you want to make sure that if they've got a tablet they want to get things onto or a phone they want to get things onto, they log in with the right Google account for that phone. Anyway, once you're logged in, you go for start new project, and we'll go for TTT, train the trainers, and then we get a new project, and then you get the main App Inventor screen. This is set out as follows. On the far left, you've got the interface elements and the various things that you can incorporate in your app. In the middle, you've got a little picture of the screen of a mobile device or a tablet. It's even got a little bit of Android gubbins at the top. On the next right, you've got a sort of list of all of the components that you've got, and then on the far right, you've got the properties of the component that's currently selected. So for this app, we're going to take a button, we're going to drag it onto the screen, and you immediately see that it appears in the components list. We're going to rename that, and I'm going to rename this button Sheep. You'll see why shortly. On the far right, you've got all sorts of things that you could have as properties for your button. So we're going to have no text, and it's going to have an image. And that image, we're going to upload a file, and I'm going to choose a file, and the file I'm going to choose is from the workshop materials for the App Inventor workshop. So if you download the workshop resources, there's a folder called Animals, and in that folder, if you scroll right down, there's a picture of a sheep, and that's what we're going to use, because I'm in Wales. There you go, picture of a sheep, bish bosh. Okay, next up, we've got to think about what we want to happen, and what I want to happen is you click the sheep, tap the sheep, interact with the sheep in any way you choose to do, and a sound is going to play. So I'm going to go to media, and then on the media thing, I'm going to grab a sound, and I'm going to put it on the window. But you see it doesn't actually appear on the window. What happens is the non-visible components all kind of gather at the bottom of the window here, and you see the sheep's image that we know already, the sheep button that we know already, which has got an image on it. Then you get the sound, which we're also going to rename, and I'm going to rename that sound Ba. You can probably guess what's going to happen next. At the bottom here, for the media, you get the option of uploading a file. Or you can do upload file in the properties of your bar component, which is what we're going to do now. So you go upload file, choose file, and scroll down underneath sheep.jpg. I've got sheep.mp3. And we're going to open that, and we're going to incorporate it in our app. So now this has sent the picture of the sheep and the sound of the sheep to the MIT App Inventor servers, and we've arranged the two things in the app in this particular way. If you've done much coding, you'll be familiar with the kind of programming idiom whereby you've got one system which lets you lay things out. For example, you'll have XML, and another thing which lets you attach codes to the interface objects that you've laid out with the layout system. So Java. So if you're doing Android programming the hard way, you've got XML and Java. If you're doing Flash programming, then there's a similar thing. If you're doing web programming, you've got HTML and JavaScript. Certain sort of Microsoft things have, like Expression has XAML, and anyway, it's quite a common idiom. So this is, you can think of this as your layout engine, and behind that you have the blocks, and the blocks are the let's do some stuff with it engine. They're the code. And on the left you've got all the different things that you can include in your code, and we'll go through some of these in later sessions, but right now all we're going to do is interact with our sheep. So we take the sheep and we say when sheep.click, and then we go to bar, and we're going to call bar.play. And this is the extent of the code for this particular project. When sheep.click, call bar.play. And now I'm going to build it, and I'm going to put it on a tablet. And if you go to build, there's an option of providing a QR code for an APK, and this is the easiest way of actually downloading, compiling the program and getting it on a device. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to click provide QR code for APK. There's other stuff that you can do to get things onto devices, and there are ways you can connect the device without compiling to a certain extent, so you can see your changes live. But this is probably the easiest way to do it, so this is the way we're going to do it in this session 1. So now we've made the barcode, and this barcode is going to appear on the screen, and there you go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to my other means of recording. So we've got the barcode on the screen now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock my Android device. I'm going to start up a QR code reader, and I'm going to scan the QR code, which is on the screen. So I'm going to scan the QR code which is on the screen, and it takes you to a web address, and when you've got that web address it says this type of file can harm your device, so you save it anyway, and then you can install it by just selecting install, and it's installing. I promise you it's installing. We end up with the program we've just made on the actual phone. App installed, open. It's not particularly interesting. This picture of sheep. We'll just check that I've got my volume up, because it would be useless demonstrating this without any volume. Here we go. We've made our first app. There you go. If you look at the online materials for the App Inventor workshop, the first app we make is a cat one, which is very, very, very similar to the sheep one. But if you take a look at that and go from there, you should be able to get an app that you've made yourself on your phone in like 10 minutes or so. So give it a go.